Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm going to be sharing with you just another quick, simple and easy project, and it's going to be using this Love You XOXOXO Hugs and Kisses that I got from Walmart. We're going to be using this bead and stretch 75 foot, and we're going to use these three little acrylic beads as focal or offsetting focal points. I think what was going on with the last video that I posted was it was on autofocus, and I thought I took that setting off, but I guess I didn't. So I've already pre-cut the stretchy material, and you can't see, but I'm putting tension on it. And I just checked the size of my wrist on my little measuring, and it says my wrist is about 3 inches wide, and this is definitely longer than 3 inches, so I'm going to cut it off at the end. So what I'm going to do is just cut another strand from there to there, and as you can see, this actually fits around my wrist pretty decently without having to do anything. And I just want to do another project since I'm sitting here and I have jewelry making on the mind. I do plan on making more jewelry videos coming soon. I also have a paper crafting project in mind, and I just have this little white cardboard in the back. I usually have my jewelry making board, but I didn't get up to go look for it because I probably would have went straight to sleep. I need to go to bed because I have to be to work early. But I'm going to complete this project first. So what I tend to do when I am making projects is I will lay out all of my things that I want. And this is just going to be a quick and simple bracelet. So it's nothing fancy. And pretty much this is already laid out for you. It just depends on if you want to use all of these elements, which I do. And since it's going to be it's not going to be for me, I'm just using my wrist as an example. It's going to be for my aunt. What I tend to do when I'm making a project is I kind of work middle out. So I'll use this as the side piece. And since I know I want these to be the focals, I put this in the middle, as you can see. And I just go from there. So since the colors that we're working with are pearl, pink, and marble white, and these little silver spacers, I'll put a spacer next on both sides of it. And then I'll do these little pink balls on the side of it. And then I'll do another spacer. Then I'll do these little white seed beads. On each side. And as you can see, this is how it's going to look so far. And it's just a very basic costume jewelry piece. And I think it will go fairly well with the earrings that we made in the previous video. Aside from this dark silver or pewter looking silver. So I'm going to go ahead and just repeat this pattern and come back. Okay, so we're back and this is how it looks. It's not finished, of course, because as you can see, there's no true pattern on here. And on the last portion, I did not put a spacer because when I get ready to tie the knot and connect it, it will have a spacer. So it has one off piece on there, which is this one off piece. And when I put it around my wrist, it looks like this. And I'm not sure about you all, but I don't like my jewelry to cling to me. And so I don't want it to cling to my aunt when I give it to her as well. So what I'm going to do now is whenever I finish this, especially when I use stretchy material, I kind of stretch the material out a little bit because, you know, over time, especially for this type of material, it's not super expensive. It tends to lose its elasticity. And so I just stretch it out a little bit so it doesn't do that. And then I just tie it in a square knot. So once over and then once again. And then I tie it again. Before I clip it, I've learned my lesson. I used to clip it super short right here. And every time you clip it that short, it breaks off. So I just tend to put it on and I see how it looks. Oh, excuse me. I'm having some workstation difficulties tonight. I do apologize for the interruption. But I tend to put it on my wrist just to see how it's looking, or on my neck, or whatever I'm using. I usually love to use this because I like to make multiple bracelets to go on. You know, like I may make an all seed bead bracelet of white or a seed bead of pink. Or I think I have some pearls. I would make this pink pearl color champagne-ish. I would do that. I wouldn't use this piece right here because this is glass. So I wouldn't use that. But, you know, I just dug in my drawer and I just pulled it out. And I think that this offsets this piece right here. Kind of offsets everything. So once I check and make sure it's not too loose, not too floppy, and I can ensure that it's going to fit the person I'm giving it to because we have about the same size wrist. Her wrist may be a little bit larger than mine. Then I go ahead and I make several knots in it. So I make a few more square knots. And then just for added security, what you really should do is glue it with something right now at this point. And I have some glue. And I've showed you this glue before. I really, really like this glue. It's Adhesive Tech. I don't know why I love it so much, but I just do. So I'm just going to take this glue and dab it right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these ends off. Probably to right here, and I'm just going to slide it in these holes. So whenever you're doing this, you want some beads that's going to be kind of forgiving when you do this, and you know, you just want to go in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just in case you're all wondering, I just took some glue and dabbed it right here. And then I'm just going to let it dry for a few seconds before I do anything else. Okay, now that it's dried some, you have two options. You can either just pull this bead over it, like that, and kind of leave it there. Oh, excuse me. Just like that, kind of leave the bead over it. And if you want to, you can clip these a little bit shorter, and I'll do that. My scissors are my mailing scissors that I use to mail out Happy Mail packages, so whenever I'm looking for things, I can never find them like I should be able to because I am a scatterbrain. As I told you before, instead of the left-handed crafter, it should be the crafter that can't find anything. But that is all. So, you know, this is another project that we made. It's fairly quick. And you have your earrings that go along with it. And usually when I make earrings like this, I love to pair them up with a bracelet or a necklace because I think it looks very, very nice and pretty to go together. And when you're wearing semi-costume jewelry or fashion jewelry or whatever name you want to call it, you know, the inexpensive jewelry that matches all your clothes, you know, you want your earrings and your bracelet to match if you're going to wear a pink shirt or something like that. So anyway, thank you for watching. Happy crafting.